The first step is to figure out what your purpose is going to be in retirement. The first couple weeks after you retire, you will probably get a lot of things done that you have been putting off, like cleaning the garage, maybe binge watching some Netflix, or organizing the dreaded random kitchen drawer. But once the dust settles, what is your purpose going to be? In order to have a long, happy, and healthy retirement, you need purpose. Take a minute to think about what you are passionate about and then consider becoming an expert in it. You don't need to overthink it either. I love gardening, the outdoors, exercising, woodworking, and being healthy, so I would focus on that. I recommend reading Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. Now, this is not a paid promotion. I just read it and thought it was a nice and easy read with a great message. In fact, I liked it so much that I'm going to start handing it out to clients when they're getting ready to retire. So to sum it up, find your passion and become an expert. Step 2 switches to the financial side. Start by taking inventory of all your assets, income, cash flow, liabilities, and insurance. Assets are going to be things like saving and investment accounts, retirement accounts like 401ks or IRAs, trusts, CDs, your home if you own it, or anything else that has a value. The home should be accounted for even if you don't plan on selling, because you really don't know what the future holds, and building a solid plan means looking at everything. Next up, what income or cash flow will you have in retirement? Some common ones are Social Security, pensions, or rental properties. Next up, list all your liabilities: mortgage, car payment, and credit cards. And last up is listing insurance. This is the first step we take with our clients. We map out everything we just discussed, and then we put it on a single page. Since you made it this far, I'm going to give you a gift. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the community and help grow the channel. You can use our asset mapping tool at no cost by clicking the link in the video's description below. I'm probably going to limit the number of asset maps, so build yours while the offer is still available. So to sum it up, you should list all your financial assets, cash flows, and liabilities in one place, either using Excel, a good old-fashioned piece of paper, or by using our asset mapping tool that I just mentioned. The third step is to figure out how much you want and need to spend in retirement. Start by estimating your monthly expenses and break them down into 4 categories. The first is living expenses, like your mortgage, groceries, utilities, gas, car payments, and anything else that you need. Next up is discretionary, which are things that you want but don't necessarily need, like going to restaurants, buying gifts, club memberships, or online shopping addictions. Third category is travel and vacation, and the final category is medical expenses. Pro tip here, it's best to use Excel because it's so easy to change and update data. The fourth step is to pay off bad debt and manage liabilities. Let me start by saying I am not Dave Ramsey, and I don't think all household debt is bad. Interest rates have been low for a while, so if you own a home and have a low rate, then you probably don't have to bother making extra payments. When you make extra payments on a mortgage, you're essentially locking up that money that you might need later on in retirement. We see clients all the time that are property rich and cash poor, and it can be a real problem because your only options to gain access to that equity is probably through a reverse mortgage or selling the home. You might be thinking, John, what about a HELOC? Well, unless you have income sources in retirement, you won't be able to qualify for one. And even if you do, the rate is going to be high. Talk to a financial professional because every situation is different. But if your mortgage rate is low, say below 5%, then you should consider only making the minimum payment. Also, rolling credit card debt balance should never exist in any form in retirement, period. Interest rates on credit cards are normally 20% or more. So make sure you pay that off and don't ever carry a balance over a month, because it's when you roll over a balance into the next month, that's when you start owing interest. Finally, don't add any unnecessary liabilities or debt a few years before retirement unless you are positive that you can afford it. The fifth step is to evaluate healthcare coverage. You can start by watching my video on Medicare up here. Medicare and supplemental insurance is going to cover most of your expenses, but you should do your homework to figure out which plans are best for your specific health situation. The big thing it doesn't cover is long-term care, so make sure you have a plan for that. Long-term care can be extremely expensive and tends to be the biggest gap we see in retirement plans. There are a few ways to fund long-term care needs, and the most common is to pay out of pocket. This works great if you have saved a lot of money and your retirement plan is overfunded. Another option is through long-term care insurance, which has become much more popular due to the fact that many of the new contracts are built around life insurance policies, which typically have a death benefit. The old insurance was use it or lose it. Feel free to reach out to me if you would like to learn more about these policies. Another very good option is using a health savings account or HSA, but you have to plan ahead. If you have time on your side, this is a very smart way to fund long-term care needs in the future. I'll have to make another video on that because there's a lot to cover. The last option is to use your home's equity as a backstop in case you run out of money at the end through something like a reverse mortgage or a sale if you're moving into an assisted living facility. Step 6 is to plan for Social Security. I have a video on Social Security if you would like to learn more about factors to consider, but don't stress too much. The problem is you actually need to know when you're going to die in order to calculate the best age to start it. Having said that, there are some important factors that you should know before filing. I'm John Gragg, your certified financial planner with APSadvisor.com. I'll see you next time, and here's to a happy retirement.